Hello everyone, it's me Sanjay Vasu back again for another video. This time I'm going to be doing it on Cambridge Lower Secondary Progression Test for Mathematics Stage 8 2023 Paper 2. Let's start. Question 1. The value of Eva's car is $9,000. This decreases by 15%. Work out the new value of Eva's car. So if it decreases by 15%, that'll be 100 minus 15 to get 85% of the original. I'll just write that as OC, original cost. So that'll be 85% times $9,000. And we can write 85% as 85 by 100. We can cancel that. 85 times 90. Let's use our calculator. There you go. 85 times 90. That'll be $7,650. That's the answer. Question 2. The diagram shows two vertically opposite angles formed where two lines intersect. Angle X and Y are obtuse angles. Write down the possible pair of values for angle X and angle Y. So two vertically opposite angles are always equal. So we can write X equals Y. And they're obtuse angles, so the angles have to be in between 90 and 180. This is X and Y. It should not be 180 though, and it should not be 90. So I will write, for example, 120 degrees for both. You have to write the same number here, and both numbers have to be in between 90 and 180. That's the answer. Question 3. Here's a Venn diagram with A, B, and C. Choose the correct words from this list to describe each of the sets. Rational numbers, natural numbers, integers. We can see that in set C, which is the innermost set, we have 250 and 6, which are positive numbers and they're not decimals. So these are natural numbers. They are positive, no decimals. And then set B contains set C, which means it contains this, and it has negative numbers. So these are the integers. And then set A contains both set B and set C and has subtractions. It doesn't matter if they're positive or negative, even though only this time they're positive. But then even if there were negatives, it doesn't matter. These are fractions and decimals, which include irrational numbers. So these are rational numbers. And then B are integers. And then C are natural numbers. That's the answer. Question 4. Draw a bearing of 0.75 from point X. I can't use a protractor online, so I will be simply showing you how to do it. So take the note line here. I'm going to measure 75 degrees clockwise from this note line. So let's say if you measure 75 degrees clockwise, you mark a point using a protractor over here, and then you simply connect point X and that point, and if you want you can extend it. So this is a bearing of 0.75. That's the answer. Question 5. The time series graph shows information about the students studying media studies or computing. Complete the sentences. The first one's been done for you. The trend in the number of students studying media studies is decreasing. As you can clearly see, it is going down. In 2010, it's 68. 2018, however, it's 41. The computing course was first studied in the year dash. Well, the line starts from 10 for computing course, and that 10,000 students is 2013, so the answer is 2013. The trend in the number of students studying computing is increasing, of course, because we can see there's a rapid increase, a phenomenal increase. It's gone higher than media studies as well. In the year 2015, there were 1,000 more students studying media studies than computing. So in 2015, there were 60,000 media students, and then there were 40,000 computing students. So if we subtract it, we'll get 20,000. And over here, since the 1,000 is already given, so it's 20,000. You have to write 20 in the blank. In the year dash, there were 37,000 more students studying computing than media studies. So if computing is higher, 37,000 students more studied in computing, that means it has to be one of these 3 years, because these are the years when computing was higher. Now this one, it cannot be, because the difference is only 14,000. This one also cannot be because the difference is only 20,000. But this one, the difference is 37,000. And therefore, it's the year 2018. That's where this corresponds to. That will be the answer. Question 6. The diagram shows two triangles drawn on a grid. A. Write the vector which translates triangle A onto triangle B. So let's just take two of the corresponding points. Which vector translates this point to this point? You go up 4 and left 2. This left is a minus 2 in the x value. The up is a positive 4 in y value. So it's minus 2, 4. B. On the grid, draw the image of triangle B after translation by vector 4, 0. That means 4 in the x value, none in the y value. So let's take one of the points, translate 1, 2, 3, 4 right, and then nothing in the y-axis. So we go to this point here, 8, 8. Now we can just draw the triangle using the corresponding points, or you can do the translation process for all the points as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, you can do that like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, you can do it like that as well. And this is the answer for part B. I'll just label it like that. Let's go to question 7. Here's some info about three shapes made using cubes and cuboids. Take to show if each statement is true or false. Shape A and shape C have the same height, 8 centimeters. So shape A is a cube with volume 512 centimeters cubed. So if you cube root it, you'll get the side length. And if you cube root it, you'll get 8 centimeters for all the side lengths. And therefore, the height is 8 centimeters for the cube, shape A. And then shape C, the height is also 8 centimeters. So the answer is true. Shape C has a greater surface area than shape B. So actually the answer is true. It's kind of obvious why. Because you're literally joining shape B to another cuboid. So this area has increased, and then there's an area behind which has increased compared to this cuboid. And therefore, of course, it's increased surface area. Not to mention this area and the area behind it has also increased. So there's a lot of area extra. So that's true. Shape A has the greatest volume. We can see the shape A has volume 512. Shape B has volume of 8 times 8 times 3, which is 192 centimeters cubed, which is obviously less. And shape C, we can divide this into two shapes. First is the original cuboid, which has a volume 192 centimeters cubed. And we have a new cuboid. So this 3 centimeters. So this height is 5 centimeters as given. And then this length is 8 centimeters. This is 4. So 8 times 5 times 4, which is equal to 160. So we add both of them together. 160 plus 192 is 352 centimeters cubed. Nevertheless, this is less than 512, so shape A has the greatest volume. Shape B has the smallest volume. This is also true because we can see 192 is the smallest. That's the answer. Question 8. Write each ratio in simplest form. A, 550 centimeters is 2.25 meters. We can convert 550 centimeters to 5.5 meters. Now they're in the same units. So first let's multiply both sides by 4 to get 22 is to 9. And we cannot simplify it further. Why do you multiply by 4? Because we need to make sure that both sides are whole numbers. So 22 is to 9 is the final answer. We cannot simplify further. B, 115 is to 46 is to 161. Well, the only common factor shared by these is 23. And if we divide all of this by 23, we'll get 5 is to 2 is to 7. Dividing by 23 for all the numbers. That's the answer. Question 9. Rearrange each formula to make x the subject. R equals x plus 5. So being 5 to the other side, x equals r minus 5. Now b, y equals 7 plus x by 2p plus 3. We can bring 2p plus 3 to the other side, so it's multiplication. Y times 2p plus 3 equals 7 plus x. X is equal to y times 2p plus 3 minus 7. That's the answer. Question 10. Complete the table. The number and number to 3 significant figures are required. So 806317. The third significant figure is 6. The fourth is 3. And that's less than 5, right? And therefore, we can ignore it and just write all the digits out by making all of these zeros. Next, the first significant figure in this decimal is 7 because starting leading zeros are not counted. And then we have second, third. The fourth is a 5, which is greater than or equal to 5 because it is equal to 5. And therefore, we add 1 to the significant figure before it. Only leading zeros are not counted. These zeros are counted as significant figures. So it'll be 0.0701. 3.995. Third significant figure is 9. Fourth one is 5, which is greater than or equal to 5 since it is 5. So we add 1 to 9. But that'll become a 0. And then we add 1 here, carry over. That'll become a 0. We add 1 here, 4. But we can't just write 4 because there's only one significant figure. We need 3. So you write 4.00. It's the same number technically, but because it's asked 3 significant figures, you have to write like this. Question 11. Complete the table for y equals 1 minus 2x and draw the graph on the grid. So x equals minus 2, y equals 5. 1 minus 2 times minus 2, which is 1 plus 4, 5. Now, y equals 3. That means 3 is equal to 1 minus 2x. Minus 2x equals 2. X equals minus 1. And then for 2 is x. Y is equal to 1 minus 2 times 2, which is equal to 1 minus 4, which is minus 3. That's the answer. Now we can draw the graph. X is minus 2, y is 5. X is minus 1, y is 3. X is 2, y is minus 3. Now we have all 3 points. We can connect the dots, forming a line. And let me just adjust this a bit. In reality, you have to use a ruler, but since I don't have a ruler here, I'm using a line tool. But well, you have to use a ruler and connect the dots properly. That's the answer. Question 12. Angelique uses this function machine to work out coordinates of points on a line. X coordinate times 5 is y coordinate. Write each of these in the correct place in the table. One has been done for you. So we have these 6 points which are given. So in Angelique's line, the x coordinate is 5 times the y coordinate. And below the line y equals 10, that means the y value of the coordinates is less than 10. On the line y equals 10, that means the y value is equal to 10. And above means the y value is greater than 10. So let's look one by one. 5, 1. This has a y coordinate of 1, which is less than 10, so it's below. And then the x coordinate times 5 is y coordinate. Is this true? Well, 5 times 5 is equal to 25 and not equal to 1. Therefore, this point does not lie on the line, and we have got the coordinate in this box. Now for minus 10, 50. If we multiply minus 10 by 5, we get minus 50. And since the y coordinate is 50 greater than 10, we can say that it's above the line y equals 10 and it goes over here. Now minus 1, minus 5. This is less than 10, so it goes below the line y equals 10, and minus 1 times 5 is equal to minus 5, so it's on the line. Now 5, 10. Multiply 5 times 5, we don't get 10, it's 25. Therefore, it's not on Angelique's line. But then, since the y coordinate is 10, it is on the line y equals 10. So, the point is here. 2.5, 12.5. The y value is greater than 10, so it'll be above the line. But then, about Angelique's line, 2.5 times 5 is equal to 12.5. And therefore, it is on Angelique's line. This is where the point goes. And the final point, 2, 10, it'll go here because the y value is 10. It's on the line y equals 10. And 2 times 5 is equal to 10. So it's on Angelique's line. That's the answer. Question 13. The angles in the quadrilateral are in the ratio 3:6:7:2. Work out the size of the largest angle in this quadrilateral. So basically, angles in the quadrilateral add up to 360 degrees. This is a law. It has to be obeyed by every quadrilateral. And now 3 is to 6 is to 7 is to 2 can be written as 3 plus 6 plus 7 plus 2, which is 18 parts. 360 degrees. So 1 part equals 360 over 18, 20 degrees. The largest angle is the one with 7 parts, because 7 times 20, which is 140. If we calculate any of the other angles also, they will be less than this, so 140 is the answer. Now I can go to question 14. The table shows the favorite sports for a group of students. Safia draws this compound bar chart to represent information. Safia has made some mistakes. Draw the compound bar chart correctly. So we need basketball, football, and volleyball, and the number of girls, number of boys for each. So now we have to draw the compound bar chart for number of girls, number of boys, basketball, football, volleyball. So the number of boys is 6 for basketball. And if you want to represent number of boys as a blank bar and the girls as a line bar, we can draw a bar so that it is 6 in height and go down. And now for the girls, it has to be 4, so the height of the girls bar is 4, and we can shade that one because it's the girls bar and we need to have a difference from the boys bar. Next, we have football. And for football, we have 15 boys and 12 girls. So 15 boys will make the line go from here, and now 12 girls will be over here, and we need to shade that one like this. You can use any pattern you want for any of the bars. I'm just using some lines shading. Now for the volleyball, it's 14 boys and 8 girls. So you can draw a line till 14 like this over there, and then 8 girls, which is like this. And that will be our answer. Now I can go to question 15. Oliver has a fair dice with 4 faces numbered 1 to 4. He also has a fair dice with 6 faces numbered 1 to 6. He draws this possibility diagram to represent the outcomes of rolling both dice. It's here. Find the probability of rolling a different number on each dice. So let's just tick off those which are different numbers. It'll be like this. And then these are all different. So that will be 20 out of 24. And that will be our answer. Now question 16. Solve 8x equals 52 minus 4x minus 2. We can expand the brackets. 8x is equal to 52 minus 4x plus 8. Because the minus and minus here cancel out for a plus. So now we can bring 4x to the other side. So 12x equals 60. And x is equal to 5. That's the answer. We can go to question 17. Pierre wants to investigate the favorite hobbies of students in his year group at school. A. There are 100 girls and 120 boys in his year group at school. Pierre decides to sample 20 girls and 24 boys rather than the same number of girls and boys. Write down a reason to support Pierre's decision. So he has taken 1/5 of all the girls and boys. A good thing about this is he doesn't have to interview too many people. And instead of interview, you can write questionnaire or survey. But then the reason I'm writing interview, we'll see that in the second part. And this saves time using a good sample, because 1/5 of the total population is a good sample in this case. B. Pierre decides to give the students in his sample a questionnaire instead of interviewing them. Write down a reason why this may not be a good decision. So he may not know all the hobbies possible, and cannot really add these options in the questionnaire. That's kind of obvious because, well, how many sports can you name? There's too many, right? That's already a lot of hobbies. And then there's even more, for example, like watching TV or just playing video games or other stuff, or even like board games or just any hobby which anyone can possibly do. There's too many. You can't name all of them in the questionnaire and ask the option, right? So therefore, that would be answer. C. Pierre wants to use a fair sampling method to randomly select the 20 goals. Put a tick next to the sampling method that's most likely to be random and fair. So the youngest 20 goals choosing? No, because age does matter in hobbies. Younger people might like to go and play make believe or something with their friends, but olders might just like to play video games or just go and play sports. So the age does matter. And then choose the first 20 goals he sees coming into school. Well, this may be an interesting option, but then this also heavily depends on the time when the goals come for school. Because any one of them, or maybe a few of them, could be doing their hobbies at night and then waking up a bit late and coming to school later. And that may not be fair for some of them who have different hobbies. Put the name of all the goals in a hat and pick the 20 names without looking. This is the best option because, well, there's no factors affecting. It's just, okay, randomly just take one of the cards, take one of the names in the hat, and then just, you don't know which one is going to be what. There's no bias, absolutely no reason that it could be changed somehow. And now 20 goes in the same class. If you choose these, it's not really going to be a good way. That would be the answer. Question 18. Yuri has two boxes containing red, black, and blue pens only. Box A contains 3, 5, and 2 red, black, blue pens, respectively. Box B contains 2, 2, 1 in red, black, and blue, respectively. Yuri picks a pen from one of these at random. A. Yuri thinks the probability that the pen will be green is 0. Explain why Yuri is correct. The probability can only be 0 if it's not possible, impossible for it to happen. And since there are no green pens in either box, therefore the probability has to be 0. And the event is impossible. B. Yuri says, I'm more likely to pick a red pen from box A than from box B because there are more red pens in box A than box B. Explain why Yuri is not correct. So the probability of picking it from box A, let's just calculate it, and for box B as well. So 3 out of a total of 10 pens, as 3 plus 5 plus 2 is equal to 10. Next, for box B, so for box B, it is 2 out of a total of 5, since this is 2 plus 1, which is 5. And this can be written as 4 by 10, which is greater than 3 by 10. So the probability of picking up a pen from box B actually is higher, and therefore Yuri is wrong. I just write over here, so Yuri is wrong. Question 19. The edge of a square has length 23.8 centimeters. The perimeter is equal in length to the circumference of a circle. Work out the radius of the circle. So the perimeter, realize P, is equal to 23.8, the side length times 4, because there are 4 sides. And that will be, if we did it correctly, 95.2 centimeters. And this is the circumference of a circle, which is 2 pi r. So r is equal to 95.2 over 2 pi. And let's get our calculator out. So 95.2 divided by 2. And then we divide this value by pi. It's the same thing. So 15.15 centimeters. This is to 2 decimal places. You can even put the 3 significant figures. It's also fine. That would be 15.2, however. And that would be the answer. Question 20. An expression for the area of this rectangle is 12h squared plus 15h. Find an expression for the length of the rectangle. Give your answer in simplest form. So the area of the rectangle is this, and one of the sides is 3h. So we can find the other side. So the side length is 12h squared plus 15h all over 3h. Now I can write 12h squared plus 15h as 3h times 4h plus 5, whole thing over 3h. So you can cancel that, and this will be 4h plus 5. That's the answer. Question 21. The diagram shows rectangle ABCD drawn on coordinate axis. Work out the midpoint of the line AC. So there's a rectangle, all these are 90 degrees. So this will be equal to this in length and direction. So translation from AD, that is write as the vector AD or the direction, that will be moving 1, 2, 3 units left because 5 minus 3 is 2. So you go minus 3. And then you go 1, 2, 3, 4 units up because 6 minus 2 is 4. So minus 3, 4. And now that'll have to be equal to BC. Since there's a rectangle, these two have to be the same. So that means C is equal to 13, 8. I'm writing this as a vector so I can add it with the vector AD. So that'll be 10, 12. And in this case, it's in point format. Yeah, I have to write it as a point. So 10, 12. Now the midpoint is equal to x1 plus x2 over 2, comma, y1 plus y2 over 2. So in this case, we need to find the midpoint of the line AC, right? So the A point is 5, 2, and the C point is 10, 12. Now using this formula, we have x1, y1 right here, which is 5, 2, and x2, y2 over here, 10, 12. So we can add these up. So x1 plus y1, 5 plus 10, 15 by 2, and that'll be 7.5, y1 plus y2 by 2, which is 2 plus 12 divided by 2, 14 by 2, which is 7. So therefore, this will be our midpoint value. That's our answer. Let's go to question 22. Question 22. Samira has a bag containing colored balls. Some of them are red. The number of balls in the bag that are not red is 4 times the number of red balls. Samira picks a ball at random from the bag. Work out the probability that the ball is red. So let's say the number of balls which are red is R. So that means the number which are not red is 4R. And red plus not red will be the number of balls in the bag. So the total number of balls is equal to 4R plus R, which is 5R. Now the probability of getting a red ball will be R, number of red balls, over the total, which is 5R, which is 1 over 5 when cancelling the R's. That will be the answer. Question 23. Here are the first 4 terms of a linear sequence. Find the nth term of the sequence. We can see that every time we subtract 0.8 into it, like this, from going from one term to the next. We start with 3.1. And since we're subtracting 0.8, the coefficient of n is minus 0.8n. And then if n is equal to 1, right, we substitute n equals 1, then this has to become 3.1. Has to be 3.1. But right now, it's only 0.8. Right now, it is 0.8. Sorry, negative 0.8. And to make it 3.1, we add 3.9. Agreed? And that means we'll get the nth term as minus 0.8n plus 3.9. If you try for n equals 2, you will get 2.3. N equals 3, you get 1.5. N equals 4, you get 0.7. That will be correct. So this is our answer. We can go to question 24. The diagram shows a container in the shape of a triangular prism. Cross sections of a right-angled triangle. It's completely filled with water as well. The water is then poured into the cuboid-shaped tray in the second diagram. The water completely fills the tray. Find the height of the tray, or in other words, this. Well, since the water completely fills the tray and before it was completely filled in this container, so the volume of the tray is equal to the volume of the triangular prism. Therefore, we can find the volume of the prism, that is area of cross section times length, half BH, which is the area of this triangle cross section, times the length 28. So half times 17.4 times 15, and then multiplied by 28. That will be equal to 3,654 centimeters cubed. And that will be equal to the volume of the tray, which is 29 times 21 times the height h. Now, we can find h by doing 3,654 divided by 29 times 21. And that will be, if we do it correctly, 6 centimeters. And that will be the answer. With that, I come to the end of the paper. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, share this video with your friends and family, and comment on how you think this video was. With that, it's me, Sanjay Vasu, signing out. Thank you. Bye.